You can know that with the right strategy, you can increase your math mark by up to 30% within a few weeks. Whether you're aiming to pass or secure that A, this video is here to guide you every step of the way. Let's dive into the strategy that is already proven, and I personally know that it works. So let's get it. My name is Zandile, a mathematics graduate who went from failing to consistently getting A. So in today's video, what I decided to do with this video is that I decided to create study timetable, something like that for maths, but I want to do it in two parts because there are people that are writing the May-June exam, and I wanted to basically help them out to structure their study so that they can make sure that even though they are gonna be writing their exam again because they will be upgrading, they can still get the mark that they want. And also in this video, I'm going to be also giving you guys a template, and the template is going to be both for people that are upgrading writing in May, June, and also students that are in grade 12 and basically prepping for term 1 exam. So this is the gist of the video. So there's going to be different parts of it. There's going to be in the description, there's going to be timestamps. But the first couple of things that I'm going to say in the video is for everyone, because the strategy that we're going to use for people that are upgrading, that are writing in May, June, is going to be the same strategy that you're going to apply for if you're in matric. The only difference here is going to be the template, but how to fill the template is going to be completely the same. As I said, the fact that there's just different template because of with the May, June people, they are writing the entire syllabus, where if you're matric and also if you're upgrading and writing in November, you can just follow the term 1 schedule. So the only difference, as I said, the fact that it's going to be the schedule and the template, but the rest of the information that I'm going to give you, it's very crucial, and it's going to be the same for both people upgrading writing in May, June, and also the people that in matric or upgrading and are going to write in November. So with that said, we can start with the video. So how to start is that how I did it is that I divided into two parts. And the reason why I'm saying I'm dividing into two parts, the first part is people that are below 50%, and the second part is people that are above 50%. The reason why I did this is that through the whole of last year, I've noticed the fact that while a lot of students are not doing like improving in their marks, it's not because of like when they are doing the recent topic, it's not that they don't understand, but the foundation part is the issue. So with that said, that is why I'm dividing this into two parts, which is below 50% and above 50%. So with students that are below 50%, I would say the fact that they need to start with solve for X. Why am I saying the fact that they need to start with solve for X? As you can see, there's a diagram that I'm going to show on the screen, is that solve for X links with so many topics. Just for example, when you get to number patterns, especially when you get to the quadratic number pattern, there's a point where they would ask you to calculate how many terms are in the sequence. And with them asking you how many terms are in the sequence, you need to know how to solve quadratic number patterns. And if you don't know how to do that, it's going to be very difficult. And also, when you get to grade 12 with number pattern, there's a new number pattern that is called geometric, and that focuses on exponential. So you understanding your exponential and exponential laws is going to make that section easy, because you're not learning a lot of things from scratch, but you're just touching base on the foundation on what is in that topic. So that is why if you below, very important, if you below 50%, start with solve for X. And how you will start with solve for X is that if you are in my course, is that what I did is that I have like a main course that you need to start with, like when you enter into the program. This is for grade 11 and grade 12 students, because of like you need prior foundation. Is that when you enter in, you do the entire course, is that course basically show you where your gaps are. So, and also you can just go to what you call this, I'll leave the quiz that you need to test your knowledge down in the description. So even if you're not part of my course, you can just use that template to test whether are you good with solve for X or whether you need more help. So that but if you are having any problems with solve for X, you can take the route of obviously visiting your textbook or study guide, or you can just enroll in my course. You can like purchase one of the courses like the solve for X, one of the courses which is like number pattern, which is the first topic, for grade 12, then you'll get the Solve for X for completely free. So just wanted to say that. So just use that quiz, test yourself, test whether do you have are you good at Solve for X? Because if you're not, as I said, the fact that's going to trickle down, it's going to affect your other marks. And even if maybe you're above 50%, still take the quiz just to check where you are, so that you can make sure the fact that you rather be safe than sorry. So that is the first part. If you're below 50%, just make sure the fact that you start with Solve for X. And as I said in the description, there's going to be a quiz to basically test you on whether your foundation with Solve for X is good or not. Okay, cool. So that's the first part. Then now we're moving to people that are above 50%. And also when you're done with Solve for X, how to basically watch for this maneuver is that if you're writing your May June exam, this is different. I'm talking to the people that are writing May June exam, and also I'm talking to students that are grading and writing in November, because of they get to kind of, in some essence, pick which topic they want to start with. How it is that if you say like you are above 50% with Solve for X, this is what you're going to do. We're going to look at high mark topics. That's where you're going to start. Very important. You're going to start with high mark topics. The reason why you're starting with high marks topic, you rather get them like out of the way, so that when you move on, you know the fact that as you're studying, you're collecting marks. I like starting with topics that don't necessarily weigh that much. So this, as I said, the fact that this is for upgrading students that have the luxury of picking where to start. So what my suggestion is that the high mark topics for paper 1 and paper 2 is as follows. For paper 1, it's going to be functions, it's going to be calculus, it's going to be number patterns, then it's going to be Solve for X, then the least marks is going to be finance and probability. Then for paper 2, it's going to be the following. It's going to be trigonometry, ranking from like highest to lowest. It's going to be trigonometry, then it's going to be analytic, then it's going to be statistics, and statistics is the low mark. So how are you going to start? I would suggest that you start with functions. The reason why I'm saying start with functions is that with functions, it really has a lot of work, and obviously paper 1 is the first paper that you're going to write, is that start with functions. Then when you're very comfortable with functions, go to calculus. Very, very important. Never do calculus first, then functions, because it's that by the time you do calculus, you're going to be kind of confused, because some of the work comes from functions. As I said about the thing about Solve for X, that you would need like Solve for X to basically utilize other topics. Same applies with functions, the relationship between functions and calculus. So I would say do your functions, understand it, master it, love it. Then when you move to calculus, you'll see the fact that especially the cubic function, because if it's a function, it's going to be so easy to come by, because of already you used to the terminology, like whatever that they're talking about, it's going to be there. So that's that. I hope that makes sense. Then after that, I would say this is for upgrading. Just need to emphasize this, is that instead of going to number patterns, now you pause, because number patterns is quite a little bit simple. We want to tackle the topics that have a lot of marks and a little bit tricky, that need more of your time. As you move on to other topics, when you practice them, you're getting more skills. I hope I'm making sense. So after when you're done with calculus, you're going to move to paper 2. Yes, I know that I said trigonometry has a lot of marks, but trig compared to Euclidean, trig is way easier. So what I would suggest is that you start with the Euclidean. You get into Euclidean, you understand it, you basically have knowledge, you have a lot of time working with it, right? After Euclidean, you can move to trigonometry, then you can move to analytic. Then you can cycle back and go back to paper 1 and do your number patterns. That's you being done with your higher mark topics. Cool. Then after you're done with that, now you're going to cycle back to the topics that are least topics, like that has less mark. So this is the order that I would like you to basically do it. Is that start with finance. The reason why I'm saying start with finance is easy to understand, and a lot of the equations are very like repeated, like they repeat. So if you do like just 5 past papers, you can get a hang of it, and you can score like between 80% of the paper, of the question. Then move to statistics, because as I feel like statistics and finance are more or less the same thing. Then you can end with probability. With probability, it is tricky, but even if you don't understand it like to the core, it's completely fine. It's completely fine because it doesn't weigh that much and you would have had so many topics that you already master. Hope that makes sense. But it does not mean the fact that it's impossible to not master probability, but I'm just saying leave it at being the last thing, since it is a little bit tricky, but it doesn't weigh that much. Rather focus on the ones that, even though they weigh less marks, but they're easy to understand and to grab the concept, and your chances of you doing well, they're pretty light. Okay, so that is the first part on how to start. So now we're gonna move to the second part, which is the duration, and basically the duration for upgrading students. So this is the first part of the duration. So this duration is from the calculation from my courses. So if you are struggling and you want to do well, I would suggest to basically enroll in my courses. The link is going to be in the bio. But the calculations of how many hours, this is not from like studying from an actual textbook. This is from if you had to be enrolled in my courses. Just want to put that out there before I don't want to make it like it's like a general thing. Hope that makes sense. So with people that are upgrading, if we're going to calculate by the time this video is uploaded, which is today the 6th, till, what is the date? Till the 20th of April. And the reason why I made the duration from the 6th till the 20th of April is that the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks in April, I needed to be revision because of people that are writing the May-June exam. They write their May-June exam first week of May. So I don't want it to be a situation where the 2 weeks before you guys are still studying, but it should be a matter of like you guys are just wrapping up things and you're doing a lot of past papers so that you can be well prepared for the exam. Because as I said, the fact that this strategy is to make sure the fact that you pass or you get that A. That is our goal. Hope that makes sense. So the duration is, as I said, it's going to be 14 weeks from the 6th of January till the 20th of April. The content, how long the content weighs, it's 55 hours. It might sound a lot, but when we are about to dive into the calculation, you'll see the fact that it's very possible to cover the entire syllabus within that 14 weeks. And also to add on is that there's an optional assignment. I'll talk more about the optional assignment later on. So now let's go for grade 12 that are term 1 students, and their program is actually 7 weeks. So their schedule is 7 weeks because the reason why I did it 7 weeks, I think you guys close for first term on the 28th of March. Yes, March. So the program basically goes from, I think I didn't put the date here, but it goes from the 15th of January. No, from the 6th of January if you're going to start very early. But you can start, like, meaning it's going to be 6 weeks for you. But it's going to be from that time till the last day of end of the month of February. And the reason why I did it for this is that I need you guys to be ready for your first term exams. And if I use the actual time frame, it's not going to be enough for you guys for like to do your revision and do past papers, which, as I said, the fact that is very important for your progress. So as I said, the fact that the average time for the 3 topics that you guys need to know, including the Solve for X, is 28 hours. So the amount of work is 28 hours. And again, this hours is taken from my courses. If you're going to be using the textbook, I don't know how long it will take you, but if you're using my programs, this is how it's going to take you, 28 hours. Then calculating how many hours you need to work per week, you can say it's 4 hours, which is very reasonable, meaning you can still do your schoolwork and 4 hours per week, it's very less. You can even do those 2 hours on a Saturday and then another 2 hours on a Sunday, which still you meet the minimum. Then the purpose again is for you guys to finish the entire term 1 syllabus within 7 weeks, then so that you can be very ready for your exam, and the 2 weeks is going to be for revision and doing past papers. We're going to go to the timetable on how to fill in the timetable for upgrading students. So below there's going to be a Google Drive. Just click on it and you'll see the different template. It's going to say upgrading May June exam. Click on that. But if you're upgrading and you're writing in November, that's different. You will click on the term 1. If you're writing in November, or if you're a grade 12 student, you want to be way ahead by your peers, you can use the upgrading May June, so that by the time your classmates are behind, when are you way ahead? So you can pick and choose if you're metric. Hope that makes sense. So there's going to be a template for that. We're basically I'm gonna show you the template, and let me just zoom it in. I think let me see it so you can see it. So this is basically, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the schedule. This is saying full-time study schedule, and this is for the 14 weeks. As it says, it tells you the total hours. Then after telling you the total hours, it calculates the weekly average, the time that you need to study on the week. So just to pause, we're gonna pause and do it. Let's say the fact that you see in this video, and maybe this is, since now if we gonna calculate from the 6 to the 20 is 14 weeks, meaning next week is going to be 13 weeks. Let's say maybe you see this video on your 12 weeks and you want to know how many hours to basically study. And as I said, the fact that the hours is directly related to my courses, how long each topic is. So that is how the hours are calculated. And also, I think I'm going to leave in the document, in the schedule, on the bottom, I'm going to state how much each topic weighs, so that when you're creating this, you know how long or how many days you need to spend on each topic. I hope that makes sense. So let's say the fact that you come across this video and this is the 12 weeks. So the calculation, let me just take my calculator. Let's say you want to know how many hours you need to spend per week. So we know the fact that we have 55 hours. 55 hours divided by what? Divided by 12 weeks. Do you see the fact that you need to spend 4.5, but you can roughly round it off, meaning you need to spend 5 hours per week so that you can make sure the fact that you finish the whole syllabus. Hope that makes sense. So that's how the calculations are thingy. So if it's going to be 12 weeks, this is not going to be 4, but it's going to be 5 hours per week. What does it mean? It means the fact that if here in our case, I'm gonna go back to 4 hours. If we're saying the fact that you need to spend 4 hours per week, is that you can take that 4 hours and divide it by 5, which is, you can say 4 divided by 5 if you're planning to study maybe during the week from Monday till Friday, which is 5 days. But let's say the fact that your plan is to maybe study twice in a week because of maybe you working and all that, then you know the fact that you need to spend maybe 2 days, 2 hours, and that is going to be enough for you to basically finish the syllabus. But the nice thing is that you don't need to basically stick to this schedule of 4 hours. You can increase it, as you know the fact that 4 hours is not a lot for the whole week, but you can increase the hours. You can maybe every day you can give yourself an hour of like watching the videos and doing the exercises, because that's how my courses are. It's a video lesson and like it's a quiz underneath. You can do that too. So what you will do is the following, is that after determining whether you're below 50% or above 50%, you'll know which topic to start with. So let's say the fact that the first topic is solve for X because you're below, then you're going to say the fact that solve for X. So here you're going to basically erase this and you're going to say solve for X. So you know the fact that solve for X. So from my calculation, I think my solve for X is actually 3 hours of content. It covers everything that you need to know for solve for X, and it is made so many students improve. I'll show, I think, a before and after of one of my students that took the quiz, and after when they did like a past paper, how much they got. But there's so many students that have improved after with the course, like after them doing it for the first time, then after that, after doing the course, how much they've increased. Then you can say the fact that obviously if in a week, since remember the fact that if solve for X is 3.5 hours, meaning you can say the fact that you're going to give yourself the entire week to do the whole solve for x, solve for x, solve for x. You can divide it the way you want to divide it, meaning you can say the fact that this day looking at maybe the course content, and I think I'll show a picture of how the course is laid out. You can tell yourself maybe day 1, I want to focus on this section. Day 2, I want to focus on this. Day 3, I want to focus on that. This is completely the way you would want to do it. But after that, as I said, the fact that the first 14 weeks is for learning. And as I said, the fact that in between is going to be assignment, but that is optional. I'm going to discuss more about it later. But let's say by the revision period, as I said, the fact that you can work the way you want to is that you can, thinking about it is that if it's 2 weeks, you can do 1 paper per day, meaning in total you can do 10 papers if you're working from Monday till Friday. But if you're working from Monday till Sunday, you can do 7 paper 1s and 7 paper 2s, which is a lot of papers. You can go through it, so which is pretty enough for you to be like completely ready for your exam. So this is the time period, the revision period. And there's a couple of notes as like explaining key notes for the student. As it says, adjust the schedule as needed based on your current progress, then break down each topic further if required. As I said, the fact that I'm going to link how each topic, like how long each topic weighs, so that you can know how many days to basically work on it. As I said, the fact that if you're going to be starting with solve for x, since solve for x is like 3.5 hours, that's basically you working on solve for x for the whole week. For example, another topic, I think at the back of my mind, I could be lying, but I think Euclidean is like 11 hours. So since you know the fact that you need to work 4 hours per week, so to know how many days you need to work for you, how many weeks, is that you're gonna say 11 divided by 4. So it tells you the fact that you need to work for 2.75, meaning roughly you need to work for 2.5 or 3 weeks completely. Work on 3 weeks, and that 3 weeks you basically looking at Euclidean geometry. Do you see how you'll do the calculations? But I think with the weeks thing, if it says 2.75, instead of working for the whole 3 weeks, what you could do is that you could either work for 3 weeks, knowing the fact that you're gonna cut down a week. In 1 week, you could work at 2 topics, or you could, if it says 2.75, so that you can make sure the fact that you don't eat too much time and you need to cover everything, is that you can work for 2.5 weeks. Maybe by Wednesday you're done. Hope that makes sense, okay? So that's how you do the calculations. But as I said, the fact that this template will come with how long each topic basically is, so that you can do your calculations and you can know how long you need to work for each topic. So now let's talk about, which I said for upgrading students, even if you're in grade 12, this is very optional, but this is specifically for upgrading students because, again, in 2024, I've seen with a lot of students, they will be like, okay, cool, I'm doing so much work, I'm making sure that I'm studying, I'm following the course, but I just feel like I don't know where I stand. And the only time that I get to see whether do I understand or not, even when I'm doing past papers, they feel like when they mark themselves, they're very like biased. And probably while looking at the question, they'll be like, okay, maybe I understand, and things like that. It's a matter of they don't know whether they're improving or not. So with that said, is that I came up with like just a couple of like a solution, but the solution is gonna come at a cost. Reason why is that I need to, or me and my tutors as time goes, need to manually mark this and give feedback, so that as you move on, you know the fact that what to fix in that topic, and that's gonna take time and take also other resources like other tutors to basically mark the work, which is like resources. So assignments is basically, I will give assignments, right? It's going to be an assignment. What I'm going to do is that you can purchase the assignment, the one that you want to be marked. I don't think it's going to be more than 50 Rand. It's going to be below that. Purchase that. After purchasing it, is that when you automatically get access to it, then you do the assignment, and you need to be very honest with yourself. Do the assignment. After doing the assignment, then you're going to submit it, then it's going to be marked, then it's going to give you feedback, the way to improve, what to do, and all that, so that as you move on, you basically know what to do. And also this is to make sure that time that you write your exam is that you are well prepared and you know like what certain mistakes you shouldn't do. More than that is that what I've noticed again with maths is that people maybe don't write things in the right maths way, and this is also going to be an opportunity for you to make sure the fact that you write things in the right way. We can make sure the fact that we fix small mistakes before you get to the big exam. So that is the importance of the assignment. As I said, the fact that this is optional to anyone. So whether you in matric and you want to take part of it and you want feedback from me or my tutors, this is completely fine. You can just like purchase the assignment. I'm going to leave it in the description. So as I said, the fact that this method is already proven, it's a strategy that I've been using last year and it has improved a lot of students' marks, right? Is that I have a couple of students, but I just want to take some spotlight, especially the one where you need to do the quiz first, the one that you need to check yourself. I have one student that this is their quiz mark, like for X, so it's pretty low. But after doing the course, my course is that this is how much they got, and they ended up basically doing very well in their trial exam. And I think by this time I do not have their marks for the final exam, but I think maybe in the next video around like next week or in the community tab, with their permission obviously, is that if they do allow, is that I'll give you guys feedback on how the student did in their final, but crossing fingers that they actually did well. But there's a couple of students, but like I'm saying, the fact that right now I don't have their marks, right? But just know the fact that they're doing well. And I can give you right now the only students that I have, I think, is grade 10, because I had a lot of grade 10s and grade 12s, is that with my program, I have a student came in with their 30s, and I think they came in third term and they got like a 79 after enrolled in my courses. As you can see, they from their 30s to 79, and by the time they reached fourth term, they even made it into top 10. They were in top 10, but now they ended up being number 1 in top 10. So guys, the courses work. They are proven. I've made sure the fact that they work because of I didn't want to bring or give you guys something that doesn't work. I wanted to make sure the fact that it works, but it only works when you give it the time and also complete the whole program. So with that said, is that this is the video that I just wanted to do. I hope this encourages you guys. It gives you motivation. As I said, the fact that I know you guys struggle, because I come from failing, then ended up passing throughout, even in varsity, getting distinctions. So this is a way of me helping you guys on it. And guys, please subscribe and like this video. So guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end. I think this video was a pretty long video. I do not know, I haven't edited yet, but if you have watched till this moment, thank you so much. Thank you for listening and thank you for supporting me. Okay, with that said, bye.